Alright, what's up guys? So today we are going to be doing some trade breakdowns and I'll show you the trades that I'm looking out for this week. But with that, we shall also trade with my little brother out here.
Hello, what's up, guys?
Tell us about your trading. For how long have you been trading now?
I've been trading for 2 years now.
2 years. So I think he's also going to help us do some breakdowns today. But without any further ado, let's get straight to charts. So today's session is just a pre-week breakdown that I do with my students every Sunday. And for now, we are going to be starting off the session. So I just shared the link with the student community. And we shall have guys coming through. So I'll go ahead and unmute and then we shall start off, okay? So what's up guys, and good evening. Hope you guys had a very great weekend. So we shall go ahead, do a few pairs here and there, and just as how you can see. So today we shall do a breakdown on GBPSD, then GBPJPY, US oil, and then Euro USD. So we need to see what's going to be happening for this week. And then before the session ends, I also want to share a few tips to have with you. Let me go ahead and record the session.
Recording in progress.
And then we can allow, okay, perfect. We should all be good. All right, so let's start off now. You guys know we've been having a lot of changes here and there. We had President Trump coming through, so we definitely expect a lot. But all in all, we are looking at capitalizing on this and being able to make money. So number one, as you approach the charts, I want you to stay strategic. You know what exactly you want and stick to a plan. That's it typically. So let's start off straight off. Now, starting off with GBP Now, this is a setup that I did previously. If you guys can remember, I shared that previously in our last Sunday breakdown. And we did get some good trades. As you guys can see, we had these beautiful sales coming through. And we could still see the same thing. But let's start off and see. So number one, you guys understand that the first thing that I personally want us to look out for is the overall trend. That's king. That's number one. I'm sorry about the noise in the background, but we shall still get on. So as I mentioned, the very first thing is the overall trend. Now, I do have some illustrations off here just quickly with how you guys can see, just in case you're really new to price action or whatever. This is how typically does happen. If we have an uptrend, we have the price breaking all the highs, you know, pushing to the upside. Same thing if we had a downtrend, we have the price breaking all the lows, and that would be a beautiful downtrend. So if we could just come back off here to GJ and see how it's been behaving. Then, so as I was mentioning, GJ, with what we can actually see, the price has initially been in an uptrend, but now we can see some sort of a reverse, okay? And let's see how this looks. So with what you guys can see, the price got to this point. So we have this area here that I did mark out, and then we had a push to the downside. We can all see that. Same thing, we can see the same reaction, and the price is pushing down. Actually, that's why I best off to take these sales that I did take the other day. Sorry, I know my charts are getting a bit dirty. Now remember, we are doing this on the H4. Now let's scale down to H1 and see how it's looking. Now, on the H1, obviously, you guys know we have a much better look and we can clearly see what's happening with the internal price action, actually. And we can still see a very good push to the downside, and that means we had sellers really in total control. And obviously, same pattern, we see the price pushing down, coming back for a bit of a pullback, pushing down. Actually, what's on mind is we should at least see the price coming up to this level down here, or it could even have to come tap into this this demand zone, and then finally go back up. Why am I insisting on that? Well, we do have this zone off here. Now let me delete this so you guys can have a much better understanding. So you can see when the price got back to this point, we did see some massive buying. But remember, we also have one more demand zone off here. There we go. That's also key. But I would still insist on this because, as you guys can see, most of them were actually being broken. We also had one off here. The price finally broke out, came back. So we should expect the price to also break out here and finally at least come down up to this point, and then we shall expect buys. So obviously over for this week, we need to see how the markets open up tomorrow early morning. For GJ, we could expect push the downside firstly. If you want to take sales, you shall take those, but that's going to be short term, okay? Short term. Overall outlook, let's go back to H4. The overall outlook that we shall stand on is going to be buys, okay? With what you guys can see with the price action. Also, if you do patterns and stuff, this is like a double top. You guys can see that. So we should expect the price to at least come back down up to this point. Okay, let's check out next pair, US oil. Oh, now remember guys, US oil, actually from the last session I discussed and said it's so unpredictable, most especially on market opens on weekend, like after the weekend, say Mondays and stuff. It's the same thing here. More often it leaves some spaces behind. Look at this. So we have this whole session, not session, but we do have some space here. Now you can imagine initially the price was pushing to the upside, and then now let's actually look at it, because initially the price was at 71.8 for something, and then out of the blue the next Monday, it's opening out at that's like 67. So it's really unpredictable, most especially for Mondays. So our dollars stand on the fact that we need to always see what happens on a Monday to determine what's going to be happening up next. Because honestly, with what you guys can see, I mean, look at it. We do have key levels off here where the price got. You could draw it as a supply zone. If you had this, there we go. So this is a very much respected level, seeing the price reactions here. So seeing the price reactions off at these points, I mean, it's strong. So there's a possibility of us seeing the price pushing down up to here, or even up to the extreme. But as I mentioned, honestly, we can't be so sure. And personally, with what I've learned with it, we just have to wait. We just have to wait, because on the H1 you can see it's giving sales opportunities, or like an outlook for sales, but the market opens up and it's totally different. That's the crazy part. Let's go over to gold. Gold also has a very good outlook. Now, I think let's start off with the daily, so we shall have a much better look. Sorry. Shit. 24 hours rather. Sorry about that. Okay, now if we could start off with gold, this is how the price is looking. Now we can all see that the price has been in a beautiful uptrend to the upside. We can all see that, right? And if you wanted to draw some of your important levels, you could have this as your demand zone, that being on the daily. Then we also had one off here. But yes, let's stand on this, and then this is also a very good one. There we go. Now remember, we are doing this on the daily. I mean, that's a very big time frame. So let's scale down to H4 and see. So first things first, we do have the trend. We all know that the trend has been to the upside. I believe that's understood. And let me delete this. Okay, there we go. So as you guys can see, trend to the upside, but then we now see a bit of a change. Look at what the price did. Now we saw the price reversing, okay, even breaking the previous high, pushing to the downside, right? And then most interesting part is it comes down to this point. Now, one thing I'm noticing is if you stretch this point off here, this is a demand zone. It's an important level. There we go. So you can see that initially the price came off here, okay? We had huge buying pressure in, and then boom, the price went up. Please, if you have any questions, just feel free to send them to chat and I'll be in, okay? Now, that's important. Now let's see what the price has done. It's back to this point, and we do see some buying pressure in. But we also have another major demand zone off at this point of here, because this is where all the pressure came in and we saw the price pushing to the upside. So here's what we could look out for. Now, we can see that the price has already pushed down. It's back up for a pullback, but also this pressure here is a bit huge when you look at these bullish candlesticks and the sizes. That's some good pressure in, if you guys can notice that we have this. But as I was mentioning, so you already see that. But how about to look at it in a sense of we have a push of this area and just as this. So we have this big push to the downside, selling in, just a bit of a pullback, and then to expect a bigger push to the downside here. But keep in mind of this, let's go down to H1. So what I did was, actually, let me make something clear. Let's try to become so, is it called conservative? Is it like the opposite of aggressive? I don't want to take trades aggressively because I want us to make money or something. No. It's much better if you really got more confirmations before taking those trades, okay? And let's go ahead and see. So on the H1, we do have this supply zone. See the price pushed down insanely, came back to tap in, and now we have this move. So what I do expect is we could expect some good selling up to this level down here. And then actually this is going to be a determinant. Why am I insisting at that point? Because it's key. It's actually key. We see the price came back off here. Oh, by the way, even on the other side, we actually have a couple of them. So we could expect the price coming back to this level or even breaking out, because gold has actually been in a very bullish phase for a very long time. And now we could see a huge pullback continuously happening. And we shall be able to confirm that. So for much better confirmations, I drew this level down here. And what we need to see is if the price can break out of this point, then we are good. Now this is on M15. That's entries literally. Again, for this, we have to wait for the London Open tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. And then we shall be able to take those beautiful trades in. I see, okay, Edris says tomorrow there is a bank holiday for the USD. How can it affect gold? Well, let's quickly go over to investing.com and see. That's key. If there is a bank holiday on the US dollar, that's key actually, and we really need to be conscious. We'll definitely expect less volatility, and for most of these pairs, because most of them are directly affected by the dollar, so that's important. Let's check out and see. Okay, so tomorrow. Oops, why does it show no events? I think I will just need to adjust a few things here. Okay. Why is it that my calendar doesn't show? Please, why does my calendar, it's not showing the holiday tomorrow? I don't know why that is. Anyways, but I was trying to say is if there's a holiday tomorrow, then that's key and we need to stay conscious. But I'll definitely keep you guys posted about any trades or any changes down in the group, okay? So yes, that's going to be our outlook on gold. Just again, a quick recap, just as I mentioned. Okay, there we go. So as I mentioned again, we can see the change of the trend off here. You can see some huge selling pressure in, and we could expect this to happen. Okay, so tomorrow we do have bank holiday, yeah, bank holiday all day on the dollar. So straight in, we have that. Okay, so that's it specifically for gold. And then let's go over to our next pair. I did see a good setup on Euro USD. There we go. So again, on the H4, firstly, you guys understand. Now, with what we can see, the price is totally in a downtrend. I think let's start off with a daily. Could have a much better look. Okay, there we go. Let's have our next levels off here. and then we could also have one up to this point. Push, huge push actually, bearish. And then let's go back to H4. On the H4, it's still clear. We can see such a pattern, price pushing down, coming back for a pullback. And then we have this. So we should expect the price to at least break this and probably continue down. But let's go down to the H1 and then see. Okay, now on the H1, I think we do have just a bit of a level off here. Now, here's something you guys must understand. So for these levels, okay, if a level is being respected, we need to have some good price action to confirm, okay? Now, just like at this point, well, we know sales are still in, but let's think about it. We still had some good selling pressure in. The price got to this level, and then we saw a push away from that point. Now, same thing. We can see sales happening, and I believe they could continue, but we need to see the price break out of this level first. And that means I wouldn't take any sales before the price breaks out of that level. So what we could possibly wait for is, I know there is a possibility of the price reacting off, firstly coming back somewhere up here, or we need to see the price breaking out, come back for a bit of a pullback or a retest, and then we shall have our sales somewhere in there. Now, if this is the outlook on Euro USD, we should have a similar setup on GBP USD. And there we go. I think it's much clearer on GBP USD. We should have something similar to that. Okay. Okay, my question is about a subscription when it... No. You have lifetime access to the course, okay? You have lifetime access to the course, and we're actually doing an update, so you'd have lifetime access to it. Specifically, that's it. So that's it, and this session was pre-recorded, rather recorded, so I'm also going to share it on YouTube. And